No way.
Yeah.
No way he's third favourite.
Rightly
He's
so.
not even in the top 10 of the world.
Yes, he is.
Is he? Has he made top 10 now?
I've got to queue up to look at the products now. I was at the World Championship, sat in the media room. I had 3 conversations about you. None of them positive, but there were 3. There were 3.
It's nearly Christmas, Matt. I can see that big smile on your face, your favourite time of the year. Episode 71, we're back. And oh my God, is this going to be a stacked episode or what?
Yeah, very true. And I am a big fan of Christmas. And one thing I used to love, and I'm starting, maybe it's my age starting to show now, because I used to love going to the Christmas markets and the Christmas shops, the hustle and bustle, the Christmas tunes playing. I used to love the whole experience. But the experience is changing for me now. Now, I was going to save this for Rant of the Week, but before we came on here, you've told me how stacked the show is. So I'm going to chuck this in early. Shops, okay. I'm telling you now, pack it in. And what I mean by pack it in is, so if I go to a shop, so I went to a shop the other day, I'm not going to name them because I don't want to give them any advertisement because of this nonsense that they did. So I've gone in and I like to get things like the PDC stickers. I like to get things like Pokemon cards. And where do they decide to put those? Behind the counter. So I want to see if they've got any. So I go across and I'm looking. Sorry, sir, you've got to get into queue. No, I just want to look at the cards. I want to see what cards you got. No, you've got to get in the queue. You want me to queue up to come to the front to see if I want to buy something or not. What if you haven't got any I want? I've got to queue up for the next half hour, have I, to get some? Then I go into a very well-known record shop that have orbited the tills with products. And then there's queues. So again, I come to have a little look, and the lady goes to me, she goes, sir, there's a queue. Yeah, I know. I'm looking at the products that are around the till. I'm not trying to skip the queue, love. Like, I understand that. I just want to see the bits here. Well, shouldn't you get in the queue? How? I've got to queue up to look at the products now.
So, the moral of the story, Merry Christmas.
And now I've gone blurry for those of you that can let's try and sort that out. I've gone out of focus now. It's all gone wrong. But yeah, so, why are they orbiting the tills with the products? That's what the shop's for. Yes. That's what the aisles are for. That's what I can walk around and look. But they orbit the tills with it, and then they wonder why there's a congestion around the tills. Because we want to see the products. The record shop, right? I've even made an aisleway, a booth. Why am I going out of focus? They've even made a booth like around the till for the products with shelves either side. And I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to get the customer that stood in the queue to go, oh, I'll have that as well. But what if that's the item I want in the first place?
Exactly, mate. No, I love it. Love it. Great to start off with the rant. Why not?
I've been dying to get off.
We started off with a rant. I've got a couple for later on as well. But we've got to get stuck into the first thing. We should have started with this. The 23rd of December, Matt. We're doing a YouTube live at 2 p.m. 23rd of December, YouTube live, main mission YouTube channel, 2 p.m. Don't miss that. We're going to be answering your questions and we're going to give them loads of Christmas giveaways. World Championship, Matt. Oh. I've got a list here. I've nearly run out of paper. Okay, so, and you know what? I want to start off with the biggie. I want to start off with Cameron Menses, and I don't know whether I'm going to be controversial or not, but I'm going to say, don't ban him. Don't just suspend him, and please get him some help, because that isn't a normal angry person reaction, I'm afraid. I've lost games. You've lost games. That's not a normal reaction. Please don't. There's people calling for him to never play again, banned from the World Championship the rest of his life. Suspend him and get him some help. That's my take.
So I've just covered this literally now on my own channel, and I've looked into this in detail. Now, I was hounded. This is the day after the incident, by the way, just for full disclosure. I've been hounded for the last 24 hours, not just by people on social media, but by news outlets to have a say on this. And I've refused to comment on it because I wanted to understand it a little bit more. I wanted to see what else comes out. You make a comment, then something else comes out, something else comes out. And I wanted to think about it. And the first thing I wanted to do was put myself in the shoes of Cameron Menses. The first thing I thought of was, what does life look like for Cameron Menses right now? We know he's gone through a relationship breakdown.
Yep.
We've all done that. This is the one we can probably all relate to. When a relationship breaks down, we all do something stupid. We either go on a bender, we go gamble a load of money, we go on a holiday, we sleep with a neighbor next door. You know, something stupid happens. And Cameron Menses hasn't been able to do any of that because he's always in the public eye. We know he's recently had a family bereavement to the point that the funeral was going to be on the day of the next match that he played, the second round. So he can now go to the funeral because he's lost the game. Don't underestimate the power of losing at the World Championships. Like, all his life has been dedicated to try and be world champion, to try and perform on that stage, and he lost to a debutant. Yes, in a good game, but lost the match. A lot of things went on. It all boiled over. So absolutely, I agree with that. But a couple of flip sides. First of all, a bit more lighthearted, just to bring a bit more joy back to the situation. I don't know about you, Andy, but I want to reach out to the guy that made that table because I'm moving house. And I want one of those tables in my house. How solid is that? Because he whacked that table. He hit that hard.
Yeah, he did.
And it stood the test, you know. So he ended up in hospital. Yeah. The table won. So, but yeah, on the flip side of that, I agree. Now, what do I think the situation's going to go as? We saw a statement from Matt Porter saying that the PDC and the PDPA will offer some help. So that's fine. That's in place. But it's also been handed to the DRA. So we've got different parties now involved. The DRA's part is to enforce the situation. They're not going to be as sympathetic as the PDC and the PDPA would be. Now, the only similar situation we've got to go on here is the Colin Lloyd incident from 2011 when he punched the dartboard against Andre Velga. And with that in mind, Colin Lloyd at the time was fined £1,000 in a world that had less media attention and less prize money. So,
and it was mid-game as well. It was
mid-game with the playing equipment. Yeah. So with all those factors going into place, inflation and the fact it was done outside the game, and it didn't affect the result, I estimate about £2,500 fine. Not only that, I think he will be banned. However, the ban, I think, will be 6 months to a year, something along those sort of lines. But I believe the ban will be suspended. Now, what that means, if you're not sure, it means he will be banned for a year, but the ban will be suspended, so it will be dormant. Now, if Cameron Menses was to do something within that year, the ban activates. So let's say he goes to the UK Open, swears on stage, does something that breaks the rules, hits the table again, does something, the ban will then come in. So it'll be basically a ban's there if you step out of line again. So it will linger over it. I think that's the result here.
And I think that would be fair. And I think that's pretty much what I was sort of saying at the start: suspended, not banned, and getting some help meanwhile. Because it's not the first time we've seen him crying on stage during a game. Clearly he needs some help. This isn't and do you know what was quite funny? Well, not funny, but Johnny Clayton came out after his game in his interview and said, and I don't think he was referencing it, he was talking about himself, when he sort of said, sometimes, you know, you don't see me hitting the fire door when I've got beat because I do it behind the scenes. And we've all done that, you know, we've all done daft things when we've got beat, and you know, I've not done anything to that sort of level, but yeah, let's get him some help.
I've seen this a million times behind closed doors, backstage, different places. Yeah, so 100%. Like players you probably wouldn't even imagine. I've seen it.
Yes.
You know.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like this isn't unusual. This is just unusual in the public eye.
Okay. Bit of a controversy. Do you know what? I love the World Championship. You do. I know you do. It just brings up topic after topic. Last night, and like you said, full disclaimer, we're filming this on Tuesday. Dirk van Dijvenbode wins his game against Andy Bartens. Is it Bartens? Bartens. Okay. There's no R in it, but it's Bartens, isn't it? Obviously, ex-world champion on the WDF. Terrific player, no question about it. And he's now lost his tour card because he lost that match, which he was pretty much in control of. Dirk has come out and said, and I don't think it was lost in translation, he said, they were sort of saying, do you feel sorry for him? Do you think that, he showed some fantastic form? Do you think he should, think he should be in the top 64? And Dirk said, no, he needs to sort his priorities out. And he was quite blunt about it. He said it more than once. And they delved into it. And what Dirk was basically saying was he won the world championship on the WF. He carried on working. He's come over to the PDC. He's got a tour card. He's carried on working. And he has openly said on social media, oh, yeah, I've been practicing extra hard for the world championship. And Dirk's point was, well, if you'd done that the rest of the year, you wouldn't have lost your card. And I thought, wow, Dirk, you're kind of saying there what everybody, what people like us in the media and stuff are probably thinking. And Dirk's gone out and said it. And I thought it was brave to say it, but I thought it was honest. Yeah. I'm a great believer like you. I know you said you struggled when you went full time. I was complete opposite. I was, full disclosure, I was only full time for 4 months. It doesn't matter. The fact was, for those 4 months, I wasn't working. I was practicing 4 hours a day. And when my mates were coming watching me, they were like, I've never seen you play like this. You're playing off the charts better. So for me, I knew it was going to work. For you, I know it was 50-50 whether you were better off working or not. But if you're going to be a professional, if this is going to be your living, surely it's got to be your source of income.
Well, that tells me a couple of things
there. Sorry, Matt.
Yeah. There's a lot going on there. Dirk is like that. Dirk is very say it how it is. But I think that's a very Dutch thing. They don't mince the words. I don't think I've ever met any of the Dutch dart players who sugarcoat things. They just tell you how what they think. That being said, it's a little bit interesting knowing that Dirk still worked as an aubergine farmer for quite a long period of time while he was still being a professional dart player. But we'll ignore that fact because that's not the point. The point isn't to throw dirt around. But I think the problem is with this, I think people are scared. People are scared. And with this in mind, we've just got a guy coming over from the WDF who's coming over with £50,000 in his pocket. Probably sponsorship then, probably at an all-time high because his stock was the highest value it's probably ever been.
Yeah.
And he was scared to give up his job where he's probably earning £25,000, £30,000 a year. Isn't this now a time that we need to stop dart players earning nothing? Isn't this now the time where we need to guarantee a wage for dart players? If you want someone to be a professional player, do you think someone's going to come and work for you and you say to them, I'm not going to pay you anything, but if you hit your targets, I'm going to give you a great bonus? They'll be like, no, I'll take this job, thanks.
Well, Matt, I have actually had jobs like that in sales back in the day where you didn't have a salary. You basically earned money on what you sold. If you didn't sell anything, you didn't get any money. So but they do still exist.
Jobs, they still give you basic. You still get like a basic minimum wage salary.
Yeah, they used to be commission. Yeah, they've changed it now, obviously.
Your pay goes on top in commission. But no one now is going to go, I'll just take a commission payment. Yeah, it's fine.
I know, but I compare it to other sports. There's still other sports like that, Matt. There's other sports like that.
But those other sports also pay a lot higher.
I mean, I'm guessing Jimmy Vansky's going to have won. Oh, he's gone in under the table.
I dropped my pen.
Jimmy won 50 grand. I'm guessing his new sponsorship will be at least 30 grand a year. That's for one sponsor, his dart sponsor. On top of that, he'll have other sponsor patches. So let's say, 100K for now. He shouldn't need to be doing another job. So he should be coming in with that amount of money, knowing he's getting that amount of money and having a go. And I know this is where we differ because you're an advocate for everybody on the 128 getting paid, and I'm not. I think you. I don't know. I'm just not.
Well, I'm looking at this year, right? So the year-to-date money, our own player, possibly our flagship, Vessel Nyman. as things stand, has earned £220,000 this year. He's only giving up his job now.
I know. It's strange, isn't it? Because
people like security, they like safety.
That's prize money, Matt. On top of that, he's got mission money. He's got other sponsor money. He's got exhibition money. I'm kind of quite surprised that you're on the other side of this fence, because I know full well what you're like as a person. You wouldn't sit around earning no money and go, oh no, I won't do that exhibition for 300 quid that you've asked me because I can't be bothered. You'd go.
Yeah, but here's the point, right? Here's the point. This might be where people differ. The reason we differ is because I lived the lifestyle for 11 years. So I know it in and out. Where people differ is where they look on the outside and they go, what it would be like, or they make estimations or guesses. Because the other thing to think about, right? So yeah, when I was on the tour, I was earning about 30, 35, 45, somewhere around that sort of money, which a few years ago was way over sort of base salary. I was on a good rate. I was on a good rate.
Yeah.
Plus all the sponsorships and extra stuff on top of that. However, how much of that, and this is the thing, the mental twist, how much of that came from the World Championships? So let's take a look at 2021, I believe it was. So Players' Championship finals in Minehead, £3,000. World Championship, £18,000, plus sponsorships and things on top. So let's say I'm making about £22,000 of my £40,000 to £45,000 in November, December. Yeah. So that means I feel like I'm struggling July, August, September, October, November, unless what I do is when I get that money and I get that £20,000 in January, February, March, April, I have to spread it out. So what I do is I'm always feeling like I can't really buy that because I might need that in September.
Yeah,
because all the money comes in one chunk at the end of the year.
That's fair, Matt, but you weren't an ex-world champion. Andy Barton's is. He could command, what could he command for an exhibition? 750, a grand?
No, but here's the other thing, right? Here's the other thing we've got to remember. A title doesn't make you instantly marketable. I have deals that are better than people inside the world's top 32.
Yeah, of course.
Because I am seen by more. Now, a lot of times people are only seen when they're seen on the broadcast. And if you lose early on, broadcasting numbers, as we know, are about 100,000 in the early stages, sometimes a little bit more. So actually, how many eyes are on you on a yearly basis? So I don't always think the achievement means that, right, that's it, we're going to go. I mean, how many sets of Andy Barton's darts do you think have sold this year?
Yeah, I mean, I've no idea. They're a smooth dart, aren't they? They're not particularly exciting.
I would be quite confident to say I've sold more of the Matt Edgars, either in 21, 23 or 25 grams, or a combined of the 21, 23, 25 grams that are available and in stock right now from various stockers around the world. Go check them out. Than Andy Barton's has.
Yeah. But I think we're comparing apples and pears here. I'm just talking about Andy Barton's and thinking if he was WDF World Champion, then he got a tour card, that should have been it for me. Okay, if I'm his manager,
if you're the business,
I'm his manager.
30 grand. Would you pay him 30 grand
to do what?
To sell his darts.
Oh, as WDF World Champion, probably not far off, maybe 20.
The WDF World Championship, so when he won it, streamed on YouTube, 10,000 viewers live. Obviously, it's not just about live viewers; it's about the follow-on and everything of it afterwards. So I think in this,
I get what you're saying. I'm just looking. If I'm his manager, I'm going, right, Andy. I've got you. You've just won the Worlds. I've got you 20 exhibitions. They're all £1,000 a night. They're throughout the year. That's that sorted. Also, there's 4 new dart shop openings. I want you to go to each of them and make sure your face is there. Take some of your darts with you.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? But they don't.
Now you're getting there.
All I'm earning is if I win this tournament. That's it. I can't. That's it. And all these are practice opportunities. So going to an exhibition, that's practice. Going to open a shop and playing with some guys, that's practice. So you've
nailed it there, right? because how many people, other than the anoraks of the sport, know that Andy Barton's was the WWF World Champion? If I was the WWF World Champion, I would I look at that situation, right? Because marketing head on straight away. I look at that situation, I go, right, I've got this title, and this title's got this history and this, and then I go, right, how can I add value to this title, and how can I extract equity from this title? And the equity doesn't come to you. You have to extract it. How can you do? I'd be doing open top bus tours in front of a very small audience, but I won't go far with the bus, but it would be footage.
Yeah.
I would do everything to put value into that title to get people to see that title whilst extracting equity.
Yeah.
What has Jimmy Van Ski done since picking up the title? I've not seen it anywhere.
No.
Like, I would have fireworks. I would have fireworks, and I'd be filming. Like, come for free. We're gonna have a celebration down the local football club to support the local football club. I'm gonna put a fireworks show. I'm gonna have a celebration. All subscribers, everyone can come for free. We're gonna have a party. Like, free food, the lot, and have a big proper celebration.
Should have been emailing us, Matt, to come on the podcast. To be fair, if you wanted a bit of publicity, you know what I mean.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he uses our darts.
Jimmy, so, if you're watching, Jimmy, you're using mission darts as it is.
I think there's a big problem right now with people thinking that it comes to them. You've been given this title. You've got this trophy in your hands. How can you extract equity? Understand that. Not just going, hey, I've won a trophy. I would dare say I extracted more equity from the Slovenia and the Iceland Masters than anyone has out of the World Championship in recent times.
Exactly.
I extracted more equity out of beating Gary Anderson, which I did do with the 170 finish, to be fair.
Thanks for letting us know.
And there's just these things that is where people can relate to you when you're going on stage. Aha, I know him because he beat Gary Anderson in 170 finish. I've got his darts in 23 grams, despite the fact they're available in 21 and 25. Have you ever heard of Paul Heyman before?
No.
He does a fantastic speech. So Paul Heyman, one of the greatest minds in wrestling, as a manager, and he talks about how to make people remember them in a group situation. And I watched that because I thought it was interesting, because obviously I used to work at a professional football club as a coach, and I thought it was interesting because we always had scouting or we had development squads, and I thought, how does someone stand out? And after watching that, I remember a guy very, very well, called Max. And actually, I'll give you the full name. It's Max Dyche, son of Sean Dyche.
Oh, okay. I know who that is.
Yes. So son of Sean Dyche, Max Dyche, plays professional football now. Shock. And he stood out. He stood out when he came into Northampton Town. Why did he stand out? Because Max went around, shook the hands of the coaches, introduced himself to everyone. Hi, I'm Max. Hi, I'm Max. Hi, I'm Max. Hi, I'm Max. On the pitch, hi, I'm Max. The first 10 minutes, all you ever heard was Max wants, not my ball, pass, or any of these. His name all the time. Name. Max wants, Max. Who wants off Max? Said his name every single chance he could get. This little 10-year-old kid, every chance he could get. Max. And all you ever saw when you saw him was, oh, that's Max. He stood out. Hundreds of children there, and I know who Max is because he said his name over and over and over and over again. How can you do that? It's easy. We live in a world of social media now. People know who you are now, Andy. I was at the World Championships. Sat in the media room. I had 3 conversations about you. None of them positive, but there were 3.
Right, moving on.
None of them. But 3 people spoke about you, including a newspaper.
Was anybody wearing a helmet? Right.
I will tell you about them off when we come out.
Yeah, that'll be good. Right, moving on. And you said stand out. So I'm going to talk about Andrew Gilding, because I bet you haven't spotted this, because he stood out. Why did he stand out? Because he was wearing 4-inch soles on his shoes. All right, I'm hoping that Jake's, when he listens to this back, he's going to be able to put a picture up on the screen. because I couldn't get it. But he had these massive shoes on, and I've not seen him wear them before. And I was like, has he like been dropping low on the treble? And he thought, I'll just raise myself up a little bit. And he's got these massive shoes. So I was like, wow. Say again?
Is it on both feet?
Yeah. They're like trainers, but with really, really deep soles.
Yeah, this tends to be for physical issues. So he's either got a bad back or bad knees.
Ah, right. I wondered if it was like to help his darts, but I noticed it. I thought nobody else has mentioned it, so I'll mention it.
No, it'll be a physical thing because my dad he had a big accident. He was on a motorbike and he got ran over on the motorbike. So he stopped at a roundabout. He got knocked off the bike, and then the thing that knocked him over was towing a caravan, and it ran over his leg. So that's like wheels and wheels and wheels. Broke his leg in 9 places. So when his leg was sort of okay again, it was shorter than the other one. So he had to have one shoe that had a sole built up on it to level him, or else his hips was off, which then caused back issues.
So
I know a little bit about this. It'll be to do something physical.
Right. I want to talk about the Joe Cullen Bradley Bucks game. And I'm going to let you talk about Joe and the fact that he was written off yet again. But I want to talk about Bradley because it's not my rant of the week. It could be, but it's not. But you know how I go on and on about finishes and parts of the board, blah, 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 blah. Key leg. Bradley Brooks wants 102. Starts on the 19s. Hits big 3. Brilliant. Now, I know why he's starting there, because then you can go treble 17 for double 16, because he's a double 16 player if you hit single 19. And if you start on the 20s, you've got to go bull. So there is some logic, but it's nonsense logic. It's absolute nonsense. If you're going at the 20s, if you hit the 1 and a 5, you can still finish. Going on the 19s, he hits big 3. He now can't finish. Absolutely ridiculous. Whoever's told him that is a good way to go, or whether he's worked it out himself, Bradley, if you're listening, for God's sake, start on the 20s.
I say no benefit. The benefit's only there if you miss the first start.
Exactly.
If you're successful,
how negative's that? Yeah.
You're left 45. You've got to make the same switch as if you were successful on the treble 20. So the switch is there.
Yeah.
So if you're saying I do that to avoid the switch is only there if you miss.
If you miss. Exactly.
So you're throwing to miss.
Yeah. So that is the most ridiculous attempt at a finish I've ever seen. Right. Give us your take on Joe and his comments. Well, not his comments, but what happened?
So he swore, didn't he? I get the school of hard knocks. I've all jumped in and gone, I only said a swear word. Like, why should be fine for that? You know, we all say swear words. Yeah, we do. We don't sound live on TV before the watershed. Now, the thing to remember with this, if you are from the school of hard knocks and sticks and stones and all this sort of malarkey that I've seen in comment sections and nonsense, is to remember that the darts is broadcasted live, which means it's open to things like Ofcom.
Yep.
Now, there is a watershed which says you cannot have graphical images involving things such as blood or excessive violence, swearing, etc. before 9 o'clock. If you do so, you could lose broadcasting rights. So the PDC, the DRA, whoever it is, have to be seen to be doing something. If they don't do anything, then there's a chance we lose broadcasting on TV or darts. So just keep in mind, this isn't to fund the Christmas party, as some people have said, or the world going soft. This has been around probably since, the 60s, watersheds and broadcasting rules and regulations. It is rules beyond the sport.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Right, a couple more things I want to talk about in the world, and we're almost half an hour in already. My first one's a bit sad. Dimitri van der Berg. Is that it? Is it over, Matt? I mean, is it? Does he come back from this?
No. I've said for a
young lad. He's a young lad, you know?
I don't think age is a factor, though, in these sort of situations. he's young, but he's been around a long time. And I do believe in this instance that could be it for Dimitri. Dimitri is a player who hasn't put a lot of effort in 2025, but he did for the World Championships. He put an almighty amount of effort in for the World Championships. That's the problem. He tried. He put a world-class amount of effort in, and then when he got there, it didn't work. Now, he's never had that before. He's played bad, but he hasn't tried. He's got his reason. Has Dimitri ever had that situation where he's tried his best, he's put in all that work, and it's not paid off? It now has. He's now lost. Imagine if you've got a lucky stone, and this lucky stone, or your lucky pants, or your lucky whatever it is, and it works for you every single time. Every time. And then you use your lucky stone or your lucky pants or whatever your lucky thing is, and it doesn't work. Do you 100% believe in that as much as you did before? That's what we're seeing right now with Dimitri Vandenberg. Does he 100% believe that if he works hard, it pays off? That has now been proven that it's not the case. Then he questions, well, if it's not that, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the problem now. This is
major champion disappearing.
Multiple
major champion. Sad. But then let's finish on a bright note. Paul Lim. Absolutely incredible. We only last week spoke about Dieter Hedman finally winning the women's WDF Worlds at 66. Paul Lim, 71 years old, Matt. Are you going to be able to throw like that, 71? Would you fancy taking him on in 30? How old are you? 32 years' time?
If I'm alive at 71, I'm happy. Like, if I make 71, I've done well. Like, I'm held together with sellotape. So if I make it to 71, I'm delighted, never mind throwing darts. But it does bring me to something that I've always looked forward to. Do you know, like, when you get to the end of the road and you get to the point where you're living at the seaside. I'm living somewhere like Skegness in my little flat. And you go down to the club. You go down to your local club to play your local game of darts. You have your game. You get a Chinese on the way back. Watch Coronation Street on demand with your slippers on. Like, I love the idea of those days.
You're talking about my life now.
Except the Coronation Street part.
Yeah, apart from the Coronation Street, I don't do soaps. But I thought it was wonderful. I thought to see him win, and he's got the dream, hasn't he? He's got Luke Humphries, who he beat 5 years ago. Incredible. And he's openly said, I don't think it's quite the same Luke Humphries now than what it was then. It might be a little bit harder, but absolutely wonderful. Brilliant for the game. Just one thing I forgot to mention when we spoke about Cam Menzies right at the start was, what a shame that it's taken away from Charlie Manby winning. You know, all the headlines is about Cam Menzies, obviously what he's done, but Charlie Manby's won that game, and yet nobody's talking about him.
It would never be a headline, though. That's the thing.
Do you know?
Guy winning on debut.
How old is he?
If he won on debut against Luke Littler, about 20, isn't he? If he won on debut against Luke Littler, if he won on debut against Luke Humphries, it'd be different. But that just gets lost in the mix. So it's probably got him more publicity than
maybe.
You know,
maybe.
Let me do a test. I know you're not very good with quizzes, but I'm going to give you one now.
Oh, thanks.
The first 9 darter on Sky TV. Who was on stage that day?
Not in the world. So there's just the first 9 darter on Sky. Yeah. Must have been Phil Taylor. Oh, do you want me to say what? Who was he playing?
Yeah. Everyone's screaming at this right now. They're
Chris Mason.
Chris Mason. There you go.
Yeah. Chris Mason. Whoa! You didn't expect me to get that, did you?
Well,
Like,
I did
Andy's
actually. I was hoping you'd go a lot sooner. I was worried you weren't going to get it because it would have invalidated my point. My point
Yeah.
is being there by association sometimes actually helps because now
Yes.
what we've got, especially in the world of SEO, think about all the keywords now around Charlie Manby because it would be mentioned so many
Yeah.
times. Right now, if you're sponsoring Charlie Manby, you're loving it because his name
Yeah.
will be trendy, which
Yeah.
means jump on it now and get those tags in there. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. So that's pretty much my world roundup, and a little bit more about darts is you might have noticed that your own darts have gone up, and I think all darts have gone up. The price of tungsten is now being controlled by China. Brilliant, because they've got all the tungsten, and they're going, well, we're not letting you have it. So you are going to see, guys, if your darts that you regularly buy haven't already gone up, they're going to go up. So, yeah, unfortunately, it's not down to the retailers. I know the retailers get loads of stick. Oh, you're making more money, you're putting your prices up again. No, unfortunately, it's the raw material. If anybody knows where we can get some cheap tungsten, please email me.
which is great for me because, as you can see, I have a lot of darts.
Yeah.
So what's
You
happening
start
here?
melting them down.
Well, the price of darts goes up, which means essentially this is an investment right here.
Yeah,
And
of course.
that I may also just say that having a little bit of inside knowledge about the cost of tungsten going up, it made me actually go buy even more darts before it's gone up. So certainly the Black Friday. So I've got a draw for the darts, like because I know they're all going to go.
Jody, Andy said tungsten's going up, so I've had to go and buy some more stuff.
Some darts, yeah.
I get blamed for everything you buy these days.
Oh, I've gone mad. I've gone mad recently. But yeah, I'll get to that in a second, actually.
Okay.
So the thing with it is, not just like what we've got here, but I've got a lot of contacts like within the industry. And I was speaking to one of them very recently, and I said to him, I says, "Tell me about tungsten, like in your experience." And he says, when you put a dart in to get manufactured, he said you used to get quoted a price, and that price would be valid for 6 months, in some cases a year. So you'd have 6 months to make a decision and say, I want that. That quote would be honored. Now, quotes are only being honored in some cases for 6 hours.
Wow.
And most of the time, a maximum up to 2 days, because the tungsten price is fluctuating at times by the hour. So you could get a quote, and then the next day, it should be more.
It's almost like gold and silver. Matt, I don't normally have a lot to talk about in our other chat because we've talked a lot about darts already, but I've got loads today. And as always, I want your opinion. So you started me off on this by things that you've been watching on TikTok. And I remember you saying it was dogs eating raw meat or something, kept popping up on your TikTok. This week, for me, it's adults doing Elf on the Shelf. What are you doing? Like, if any kid sees that, you're going to ruin it for them. But literally, what are you? It's for kids. It's a bit of a silly game, but oh no, we've now made it an adult thing where we put the elf in stupid things and like adult only things, and I'm like every other. I had to turn it off in the end. I was like, this is just crazy. What on earth are they doing?
Okay, so what's your algorithm? Let's do an algorithm chat then. What's the algorithm pushing on you right now?
Yeah, it's pushing Elf on the Shelf. So I must have watched one and thought, oh, that's quite funny. And now it's yeah. And then now it's every other one. It's a bit like when you bring a new video out and I watch that, and then and then every other one's Edgar. Then I can't get rid of you. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah.
Well, especially now because I'm working for about 17 different companies.
Yeah.
So you watch one and it's like, here you go, bang. You like him, do you? And you're like, get him off my screen.
Yeah. Right. Another thing that I've seen this week that I thought was incredible. You won't have seen it. This won't have been your thing. And you're probably like, why are you watching that? The bloke on ice skates has broke the world record. You'll be aware of what ice skating is in the ice skating championships, where they get points for artistic and they get points for
Oh yeah,
whatever
every
else.
year I sit down and watch the ice skating championships.
No,
every
I
year.
said you'll be aware of what it is. I didn't say
I've got
you
a
watch
clue.
it.
The only time
This
I've done ice
guy,
skating was at Donny Dome when I
right?
went as a
Did
5-year-old.
you fall over? Because
No,
it's incredible.
with skates, so when you go when you're younger, you get 2 rails.
Ah, right. Well, ice skating I found to be incredibly difficult. I went with my daughter and I had bruises all over. This guy can spit. He jumps off the ice skate and rotates 4 times in the air and then lands on his skate again. And he does it 7 times within the performance. Now, just try and imagine, forget you've got skates on. I could do that. Well, please, let's make that a video. Please.
Tries challenges.
So I thought that was amazing. And then the last thing, do you still own a wallet?
No, never did.
No, me neither. But I was out the other day with my mates and we're all like, right, yeah, you're around, mate. Yeah, like you do. You get your phone out, put it to the thing. Yeah, 18 quid, mate. Yeah, beep. Yeah, done. My mate, 18 quid. You're around, mate. 18 quid. Gets his wallet out.
18 quid? Was there 2 of you?
No, it was 3 of us. There's 3 of us.
I say, the places you drink, I'm surprised you got more than 1 drink.
Pint. Oh, that's going to be my rant of the week in a minute. Anyway, 6 quid a pint. So he gets his wallet out. What have you got there? He's like, where's my wallet? I've got my money in it. I've got my cards in it. I'm like, really? Like, you've got a phone as well. It's like, yeah. Like, well, you can just put that on there. Yeah, but where am I going to put my cash? I'm like, wow, this is 1970s. He had a wallet, and it got me thinking, like, I can't remember the last time I saw a wallet. Something that's just disappeared, isn't it?
I've never had a wallet, but, and this is where you're going to be like, of course you do. I have a system. So I have a cash. I have a cash pocket. I have a pocket that is for phone, keys, and cards. And then I have other stuff in another pocket. So I have a system, so I know what's where it should be. So, like, let's say even down, for example, like if I was to have my Saturday football bet, the betting slip would go in my cash pocket because it's associated to cash.
Because it's a paper. You can't put it in your keys pocket. That'll just drive you. Yeah.
It has to go in that pocket.
And you think I've got OCD?
Here's one for you then, right? When you've got notes, do you have to put them in order? So you have to have the 20s.
Oh, yeah.
Then the 10s on top of the 20s.
I've got
the 5s on top of the... Oh, you turned you turned the camera off. That's because I've gone for the draw. I've got some here. Got some readies here. Every single one, look. They all have to be perfectly the same way. I can't. If one of them is facing the wrong way, that's it. They've all got to come out and they've all got to be reordered again. I can't stand it. Oh, we share a lot on the podcast. I've got a tin where I put my cash, and obviously the toy fair is coming up in 11 days from now. The big one of the year, the Christmas toy fair. So I put a lot of money aside for that. So I've got a couple of grand to the side, and every time I put it in my tin to be ready, like it sort of separates a bit. So then I have to do it again, and I have to put it to the point I've had to now elastic band it all together because I don't like it separated.
And I bet it drives you mad if you say something's £4 and you pay with a £20 note and they give you a 10 and a £5, but in opposite directions. You're like, can't deal with that. Can't deal with it.
Other business, though.
Talking about, let's move on. Rant of the week, Matt. Rant of the week. I talked about beer. Right. So we've gone to this bar and it's £6 a pint. Now that's a lot, by the way. I'm up north. You can still get pints up here for £3. You can. So, but we're in this fancy bar and it's £6 a pint, right? The guy, I'm on a Guinness, but the guy next to me is on a lager, right? The guy pulls on the Guinness, he pulls the lever over, puts the Guinness on the bottom and sods off, just like walks to the other side of the bar. Meanwhile, the Guinness is all frothing up because the distance between, you're supposed to hold the glass of Guinness as you pull it. The Guinness glass is like, I mean, this is hard to do for the audio viewers, but it's about a foot away from the pump. So it's all frothing up. Then he does the same with the lager. I don't know what he was doing when he kept walking away. He's done the same with the lager. The lager's frothing all over the place. And I felt like saying, mate, I'm paying £6 for this. Can you at least like pull it properly? Yeah, you're all right. You're back in.
Yeah, I just get my focus back.
So that really, really annoys me. If you're going to go to a bar, they're all complaining they're not busy enough. Well, how about you take a bit of care over pulling a beer?
And put the heating on. And don't charge £7 for parking. But
and don't ask for a tip.
Don't ask for a tip, yeah. I'm paying for you enough already. Like your service is in the pint of the drink, the cost of the drink. Here's one for you, right, that I really dislike. I'm going to, my rant of the week was going to be different, but I'm going to join in with you on this one because I have got to the point where I don't like going out for service anymore because I think service is something that's not trained or not taught. I think a lot of the time people are employed in these roles and they teach them how to use the till, how to use the point of sale, how to upsell, but they forget the most important thing, what we actually want, need, and what we actually value. And what I hate is that pint glass there that you're talking about, or the can. When they do that, I'm going to describe it and I'm going to show it. When they do this and they pass you it, picking it up by the top. This is the bit I drink from. Yeah. This is the bit of the can I'm going to hold to my mouth and drink from. You hold it down here and pass me it like so. Don't hold it from the top, especially when you think you've been pulling pints, you've been handling cash, you've been touching all these different things. Now you're going to put your hand on top of the can where I drink it from and pass me it. No. Stop upselling me, put the heating on, and learn some basic skills.
And when my daughter orders a J2O and you say, would she like a glass with ice? And I say, yes, please. Any chance you could pour it in the bloody glass instead of just passing me the bottle and the glass and expecting me to pour it myself? I thought I've come to the bar to get served here.
And then they'll pass you the thing. Leave a tip, sir. You didn't even pour the drink.
You didn't even pour it in the glass.
You just took the lid off of it.
And then my other rant, which I'm not going to go on and on about, is when you get somewhere and you're trying to park and it's this time of year, so it's heaving everywhere, Matt. There's no car parking spaces. But, oh, yes, in comes the Range Rover and takes up 2 spaces because he can. I'm not going to, 1 space isn't enough for me. Hey?
I wonder if that cost him £14 in Brighton.
Well, in Brighton, he'd probably squeeze into a space, but round our way, they just go, oh, I'm in a big car, therefore I need 2 spaces. Not leaving one for you. Sod you, I need 2 in my big Range Rover. Drives me flipping mad. So anyway, any more rants this week? I think that's enough, innit? I think we've had enough rants this week. Have you got a quiz for me?
Okay, so this is a very different one. This is all about probability as things stand today on Tuesday, the 16th of December, 2025. And I'm going to do this about the odds to see how close you are in odds. Now, before anyone jumps in the comment section and goes, oh, you're talking about betting. Betting's fine. Betting's a pastime. People enjoy it. It's great. Like, you can have a bet. It's not a problem. The same way people can have a drink, they can have a smoke. Anything done in moderation is absolutely fine. The other thing is, I'm going to give you a little bit of insight here. So, in regards to broadcasting, talking about odds and betting is absolutely fine. Right. But you can't be insightful. So, for example, if I was to say Luke Littler's 4-1, that's sharing because the odds are a very, very good indicator. That makes him second favourite. He's 4-1, second favourite. Because the bookies don't want to lose money. And they do their research and run stats, and they're saying he's the second best player in the tournament. So that is great as something to back up a case. What you can't do is say Luke Humphries is 4-1. So if you put a tenner on, you're going to win £40.
Okay.
Because that is insightful. That makes someone go, if I put a tenner on, I get 40 quid plus my tenner back, I'll get 50 quid if he wins the World Championships. So it's insightful because it's thought provoking. So we don't do things that are thought provoking. So yeah, before anyone jumps in and gives me a load of grief, grow up. Right. So we're going to start off tricky and we'll get a little bit easier. Andy is going to play Guess the Odds.
All right. Okay.
What price do you think Mensos Suljovic, who at this stage is in round number 2, is to win the World Championships?
500 to 1.
Mensos Suljovic is 750 to 1.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right.
Okay. What about Ian White? Ian White also in round 2.
1,000 to 1.
600 is actually more of a favourite to win than Mensos Suljovic.
God, I watched his first game. It was awful.
Okay. How about Jose de Souza? Terrible 18 months. Got through the qualifier. At the stage of making this is in round 1. So around
350?
500.
Yeah, okay.
Which I think is ridiculous because he's around behind the likes of Mensa Suljovic and...
Oh, yeah, he hasn't played it by the time we... Yeah.
And he's had a terrible time of things. Okay, right. Ryan Searle.
Oh, okay, there's a good one. Ryan Searle. Going off his ranking, I'm going to say 80 to 1.
125.
Oh, okay.
And I think Ryan Searle makes the semi-final.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Okay. Ryan Joyce.
Oh, now that's an interesting one because Ryan Joyce should be higher odds because he's lower down the rankings. But 150?
250.
Wow.
Rob Cross.
Oh, that's a great one because he probably in days past would have been 16, 20 to 1, but I'm thinking he's not in form. He's going to be 75s.
100.
Yeah, that's about right.
Michael Smith.
Oh, where did my camera just go off? Michael Smith has no chance. 150 to 1.
125.
Oh, okay. I'm not bad at this. I haven't got any right. But...
Manby.
Yeah, he's 250.
150.
What? That's ridiculous.
Damon Heta.
Playing awful. 150?
125.
Okay.
Bo Greaves.
Oh. Wow. Now this is... I instantly wanted to say 100 to 1, but then I'm thinking I can't put her higher than all those players you've just named. So she's got to be 200 to 1.
75.
So she's more of a favourite to win the World Championship than Ryan Searle.
She's more of a favourite to win than Dirk van Dijvenbode, Jermaine Wattermainer, who's been in incredible form, Rob Cross, Damon Heta, Joe Cullen, Callan Ridds, Michael Smith, Ryan Searle, Ryan Joyce by a significant amount, Ricky Evans, Christopher
And
Tyson,
how many games has she won at the World Championship?
None.
Correct. That's right. So they've got that wrong, Matt.
She is roughly on par with the likes of, if we were to put them in a block, of Danny Noppert, Gary Anderson, Johnny Clayton, Chris Dobie, and James Wade.
Multiple major winner, ex-world champion, top 10 in the world, and she's, that's wrong. I'm sorry. Right, so I don't understand that. So explain that to me, because if I'm a punter...
I wish I could.
Surely they want you to have a bet on Bo Greaves, and that's not enticing me at all.
They're just scared of her, aren't they? It's like Charlie Manby, 150. They're just scared of him right now because he's an unknown quantity.
Instead of him being the next Luke Littler, is that what it is? They're scared of...
Just someone coming through, yeah. But 75.
Yeah. Okay.
So you didn't get any of them right, but...
I didn't get any right, but I wasn't far off.
Okay, let me change this a little bit for you then. Let's give you another chance.
Okay.
If I was to rank these, Luke Littler, favourite 1. Luke Humphries, number 2.
2.
Gerwyn Price, where does he rank in regards to the favouritism for this tournament? We'll try it a different way.
Wow. 4th after Van Gerwen?
He's 4th.
Van Gerwen third.
Quick while you're ahead, you got one right. Let's just bask in that
Oh.
moment. He's got one right. Yes, Gerwin Price. Hey, right. We'll ignore the Van Gerwen comment because he's actually sixth.
Who on earth could be third then?
Oh, go on then. I'll give you. Let's see if we can go back to back correct answers. Who is the third favourite for the World Championship? Andy Cornwall. Come on. Who is it? He's looking it up.
No, I'm not.
Come on. You've got it, Andy. I believe in you. I believe in you. Come on.
I really haven't got it. I mean,
is this the last podcast before Christmas?
Yes.
Oh my word! Yeah, it's the last podcast before Christmas.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Well, this podcast is going out 2 days later. We're doing our live. We're doing our YouTube live. Who could?
So please, guys, do come into that live on the 23rd because we'd like to see and have a chat with you guys before Christmas. This is the last chance.
I'm going to take a random guess at Nathan Aspinall, but I don't think it is.
Come on.
Who is it? Who's number 3?
There is one man in 2025.
Oh, my camera keeps going off today.
Who can stop the Lukes? One man.
Gerwin Price.
No.
No idea.
Cameron Van Veen.
No way.
Yeah.
No way he's third favourite.
Rightly so.
He's not even in the top 10 of the world.
Yes, he is.
Is he? Has he made top 10 now?
Do you know what, right? This was one of the comments that came up in the media room when they went, Andy just spills out random stuff with no research. Jan Van Veen's world number 7, Andy.
I'm just being honest.
You're not being honest, you're being wrong.
No, yeah, I'm being honest. I didn't think he'd made the top 10 yet, but he obviously has.
That's not being honest.
I still don't.
Wrong.
So Jan Van Veen has got a better chance of winning the World Championship than Michael Van Gerwen and Gerwin Price. Nonsense.
Yes.
Absolute nonsense. How many majors has he won?
How many do you think he's won?
None.
Okay, he won the European Championship, Andy, a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, he did.
This is brilliant. I tell you what, hello, the Sun News.
Not a major.
You're probably
not a major
this week, aren't
you?
Not
a major. It's a TV tournament. It's not a major.
I tell you what, right, Andy.
It's not a major, Matthew. It's a TV tournament. It's not a major.
Let's not get into the major.
No, it's not a major. You know it's not.
But I tell you what, in the media room, right, there's people that told me they said they listen to this because they know that you're going to spiel something off and they can use it. And well done,
absolutely.
You just gave them some more. Andy Cornwall. No, but no. Let me just take this back to the actual topic for a second. Jan Van Veen, when we're looking at someone who can go and compete, we've got to look at Van Veen because Van Veen's recently won the European Championship. But the main thing is the story of the last 2 years has been Luke and Luke, the Lukes, Luke Littler, Luke Humphries. That's been the big topic. So when we think about this, who can beat the Lukes?
I'm going to have your £5 bet. I'm going to have your £5 bet for Christmas.
Okay, well, we'll get to
Gerwin Price gets further than Jan Van Veen.
So Van Veen has beat Luke Littler twice on the European tour. Beat him well. I commentated on one of the games. He beat Luke Humphries in the final of the European Championship in the first round of the World Match Play. He's got multiple wins against those two favourites. When you're looking through the last 2 years, no one else has got a record as good as Van Veen against both of the Lukes. He's the only guy right now who could deal with them both. And the chances are someone's going to have to deal with them both who wins it. Because you're going to have to beat both Lukes if you win this World Championships. I don't see a world where you don't have to do both. Van Veen's the only guy who can do it.
Don't see it. Don't see it.
He's the only guy.
Taking my bet. Would you like my bet? You have Van Veen. I have Gerwin Price.
Seconds.
Who gets further?
Bear with me a moment.
No, you want to have a look at the draw, don't you? No, the This is Edgar too. Like, I'll spend £1,000 on toys, but I'm not taking a £5 bet unless I know I've got a good odds.
I can't remember what section Going Price is in.
It doesn't matter. I've not even looked. It does not matter, Matt.
I don't know if they're going to go against
Van Veen
each
or
other.
do you not?
Where's Going Price?
I can't believe you're looking up the draw.
Oh, here he
Audio
is.
viewers, just bear with us while Matt looks up the draw to see whether
Right.
he dare take my £5
So he's
bet.
got Gavlas, then Wesley Plazier. Ryan Joyce would run into him in the. He's got Chris Dobie in this section. I think Going Price will get through that section there. Van Veen he's played already, so he's in round 2. Where is Jan Van Veen? There he is. Van Veen. Yes, I'll take it.
You'll take it. Okay, so you've got Jan Van Veen to finish further in the tournament than.
Do you know what I think happens? So I honestly probably believe I think we draw. I think it's a draw.
Yeah.
I think they'll probably both lose in the quarterfinals.
Possibly, but we'll see. Let's finish off with some comments and emails, Matt. This is an extra long edition, as this is the Christmas edition.
Oh, can I just say, actually, I'm going to stop reading the comments soon. My God, there's some absolute numpties, isn't there? I'm going to call one of them out now. So, do you know we had that talk about Q School, and you went, "He's still going to go?" And I went, "I don't know. I've been ill. I can't really practice for a little bit." Someone put in the comments, went, "It's not that deep," but it's like, yeah, it is. Like, do you understand the implications of going to Q School? First of all, it's going to cost me about £1,000.
Yeah,
to do it. So it's £1,000, real life, real world money. Give me the £1,000, I'll go, no problems. You know, if it's not that deep. And the next thing is the implications then of being a PDPA member change a lot in regards to what I can and can't do. So it is very deep. So I'm not going to do it if I don't feel like I can do it properly. So behave yourself. Behave yourself.
To defend yourself, right?
I'm calling him a numpty.
Yeah, question for Matt from Ivan, our regular. Ivan's been on. When do players get their prize money? If they get knocked out, do they get it sent to them, or do they have to wait until the tournament's finished?
14 days after the conclusion of the event. So if you lose round 1 on the 11th of December, you're waiting well over a month before you get paid.
Okay. Sammy, 1993's been on. He likes the new darts. He gets that there's premium options for certain people, but he says you don't need all the unnecessary added bits, which obviously makes the price more. Now, I've seen both. I've seen lots of comments about the new product saying fantastic. About time Mission did something like this. And I think your point in last week's podcast was exactly perfect. If you don't want the premium stuff at 110 quid, then Mission's got loads of stuff at 40 quid. Crack on, you know? But it feels like some people want to just have a go at everything. Everything's wrong in the world, isn't it? It's
policing the world. And I've been trying to do it. So someone put a comment on my video. So I did a video about Joe Cullen, and he's like, "Oh, I don't really like this sort of stuff." Don't watch it then. Like, you didn't have to click on the video, watch it, go to the comment section to tell me you didn't like it. Just don't watch it. And do you know what happens? If no one watches the content, it doesn't get made. Don't be your thing. If you don't like something, don't support it. Because if I do a video and it gets 50,000 views, it's like, well, I'll do more of that then. Like,
Willie's been on. Willie said he also gave the new Bullseye show a chance, but when Stephen Bunting started singing, he switched it off. And he said, will it ever be the same without Jim Bowen and Tony Green? No, it won't, will it?
Nothing will ever be the same as them sort of days. Not just Bullseye, but nothing will ever be the same. Because with those days, I mean, you'll remember them better than I will, Andy. You had, 4 channels? And there was a lot more.
I remember 3 channels.
But don't even just think about the channels. Think about what watching the TV used to be. It used to be a family experience where you all gathered together and colluded in watching something together. That adds intrinsic value to things. Nowadays, you'll have the telly on, but everyone will be sat on their phones as well, or individual things. You're not engaging in something together. That's why I love the experience of going to the cinema so much, because it's just quiet. You just watch it, and the phones are off, and you can just watch the program.
Anybody would think you could see what I'm about to read out, and I know you can't, and I know we haven't discussed it, but the next comment is, I watch your podcast every week and enjoy the content, but could you please turn off the notifications on your devices? Like, mine are never on, yours are never on. So I don't understand that comment.
No.
Because if it was going beep, 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 oh, there's another text. Sorry about that. There's another text. But mine are always off and yours are always off. So unless he knows we're getting a text when we don't, I don't know. I don't get that one.
I learned a long time never to have notifications on my phone because I was sat there. It's a bing, 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 bing. And it was constantly. So now what I do is I just let them build up and I go through them like at certain times. I do them in the morning, the afternoon, and the evening. And that's it. Yeah. And like my admin, I do every 2 to 3 days because like that's just boom, boom. And I tell you what, the other issue is spam bots. Now, so because we deal in things like hashtags and we deal with trending words, there's a lot of spam bots get involved now, and it's annoying.
Right, Jack's been on, and I love questions. It's not even a question. I love the mission sabers, but your short stems with a flight in are exactly the same as an intermediate molded flight system. Can we please have a shorter saber stem than the current short one? It's like no matter how many sizes or colors you make, somebody will want one that you don't make. That is an absolute. I bet there's somebody that wants a Matthew Edgar dart in 22 gram.
There is
21's too. Yeah, 21's too light and 23's too heavy.
I've had messages. Yeah, absolutely. That gram makes a difference. Yeah, I've had messages on that. And do you know what? Right. So I do predictions and things for the World Championships, and I've done 16 matches that are predicted. I got 14 out of 16 right. What a strike rate! Level stakes profit nearly £9. Fantastic. And someone came in my live and went, "You're doing all right, but you got those 2 wrong." I got 14 right. It feels like comments and so it feels like rant of the week, really, as well, doesn't it? So actually, we're gonna, because we're wrapping the podcast up, we're coming to the end here. I think what we need to do is we need to turn this back to the positive and say what a fantastic year we've had at Mission in regards to all the channels. The podcast has been growing and continues to grow. And I see there's been a few shares on this as well, guys. So we thank you. We can't name drop you because we can't see them like we do on TikTok. But thank you for sharing the podcast and getting us out there. Hopefully, see you all again next year. And we'll hopefully see you on the 23rd. We'd love to give back to you guys that have supported us throughout. It is an afternoon show, 2 o'clock. We'll be giving back with some great prizes. Hopefully, a lot of you guys that come in on a regular basis will end up being the winners. You must be a subscriber to be able to interact with that video. So make sure you are subscribed to the main channel as well. And the other thing is, we're not advertising this. We're not chucking this out. We're not putting marketing behind this. We want this to be for the people that are regularly listening and know it's coming. So lower down the numbers, increase the chances of winning some of those mission goodies and enjoying your Christmas. If we don't see you on that stream, guys, enjoy your Christmas and we'll see you again in 2026.
But we will actually see you again in 2025 because there'll be another podcast before then, Matt.
Yeah, that one don't count. That's after Christmas. That's
a
not
great
like
way to finish.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. See you next time.